this is this Feeling Myself map. It is a work in progress, and I think part of its ultimate end design will be co-created by community and communal language. But if you want to take a peek at it and then just throw in the chat like a couple of the feelings that you might be coming in with today. Let's say 3. Can you pick 3? Triad of affects. Also, because I do send out the playlists that I use. They're on Spotify. For me, part of my process is even the sound in these practices, when I go back to the music and the sound, more moves through me. It's almost like the memories that we plant while we're in our bodies. My body remembers those feelings of like settling and being in my body, and then the music brings it back. For our sort of typical design, we'll start with the teachings. Allow yourself to arrive in any shape, position that feels comfortable or good for you. From the teachings, we'll move into the practice. From the practice today, our ritual will be that of rest. And so we'll take a nice, long, deep, guided Shavasana at the very end. And so coming into the field with frustration, disappointment, perfectionism, humility, and a double dose of excitement. I too have been moving with a shorter than normal fuse, and so I definitely resonate. Sometimes I think the feelings that move through the collective are shared. As we move toward this solar eclipse in Aries that's happening at 11:13 tonight, right? Everything maybe feels amplified or supercharged, like a super potent power surge. And so it is said that as we move into this solar eclipse and through the solar eclipse, it's almost like we move into a portal of eclipse season. During the solar eclipse, it's the moon that passes in between the earth and the sun. It's like a double dose of darkness in our already dark moon sky. And this particular one, it happens at the end of Aries. And so Aries this year is actually our second new moon in Aries. And there has not been eclipse in Aries for several decades. And so this one feels like very monumental. Like it might be a very pivotal time of the year, which speaks to this flurry of activity and this intensity communally. And it can feel very unsettling holding this contradicting or conflicting energies of flurry and slowness simultaneously. Like for me, I had several hours yesterday of feeling sensations of like crawling out of my skin even. And this particular group of women, bodies, that is moving through the spring series together, we all share this common trait of being highly driven, high achieving. And so, even more so, the importance of tonight we rest. The practice a reminder that we are moving at the speed of trust. And so, yes, this building is really special. I am at the Rail River Folk School this evening, actually in the river room, it's called. And this building tends to come alive. So if at any point there are technology glitches, please let me know. And this land is located on the shores of Lake Irving in Bemidji, on the first city on the Mississippi River. And so we actually sit right on the shoreline of the Mississippi River. And it's a really unique spot because where we are, the river is still flowing north. And so from Lake Itasca and the headwaters toward Bemidji, through Lake Irving, through Lake Bemidji, it continues to flow north before she turns to flow south. And so on one side of the building, we have the river. And on the other side of the building, we have the railroad track. And the bridge, the railroad bridge that crosses the river right here, is the oldest railroad bridge in the state of Minnesota. And so really anchoring ourselves together in this land. Directly across the tracks is the location of the Rail Corridor Wellness Development Project, the potential site. Some of the land is a brownfield site, so contaminated soil because of the history of the track. Because of the location on the water and the history of this land, and the original peoples of this land, we know that this land is sacred. We know that there are human remains. And beginning to talk about this and engage in dialogue about this feels really important, because I believe that when other people know the truth, they'll really care about it too. "16 miles east of Bemidji, in 1855 Treaty Territory, Mikinako Zibi Camp, or the Turtle River Camp, has been engaged in ceremony, tapping old growth maple trees, collecting sap, and protecting 600 acres approximately of wilderness that's currently owned by the state of Minnesota." The history of colonization is still here and still happening. And so rooting this practice, this devotion, this care into this land right here. And so when you're ready, let's go ahead and meet on our seat in just a cross-legged positioning or Sukhasana. You'll notice I have my sit bones on a pillow or a bolster. Feel free to support yourself in any way. Any support under the knees is also a possibility. And then as you arrive on your seat, go ahead, maybe some shoulder rolls, until you can feel them melt down the back, aligning the spine. Back of the skull, atop the sacrum or the base of the spine. And then gently close your eyes. Eyelashes really lightly intertwined, softening the outer corners of your eyes. Steadying your gaze down toward the tip of the nose. As your gaze steadies down toward the tip of the nose, notice if you can experience your eyeballs withdrawing behind the protection of your cheekbones. Bringing your right hand to your heart, your left hand to the ground. Awareness settles into the flow of breath. Your ears listen to the sound of breath. Scan your body for any nuance of sensation. The touch of air on your skin, places where your clothing touches your skin. Your pace. And invite yourself to experience urgency and stuckness simultaneously. The full complexity of just arriving in your body. As you arrive in your body and your breath, arriving in this moment, right here, right now. As our hands touch the earth and our hearts. Anchoring each other to this land. Anishinaabeg land. Where the Mississippi flows north before she turns to flow south. This water this moment that we are anchoring each other in, will arrive at the Gulf of Mexico in about 3 months. This water in this moment will arrive in the Twin Cities in approximately 20 days. Letting this practice tonight be a practice of rest and release. A practice of moving at the speed of trust. And on your next inhale, breathe it in, drink it in. As you exhale, sigh it out the mouth as if you could fog up a mirror. Slowly opening your eyes, taking in your surroundings, reorienting yourself in your space. Counter move in any way. Before we meet in an extended puppy pose or a heart melting pose in yin or anahata asana. And so bringing hips over knees. I have a pillow here, so I'm going to let my pillow be a support for my sternum, my heart space, my chest, as I release down onto the pillow. Elbows could bend wide, stack the hands, make a pillow for the head, or reach forward. Or coming to child's pose. And so any of those options, really remembering that it's an invitation for your body. Closing your eyes if they're not already. Finding some place for your forehead to settle, whether it's the hands, the earth, or a pillow. And then breathing in and out through your nose. Breathing into all the little nooks and crannies of your rib cage. All the spaces in between each of your ribs. Breathing into side ribs. The space up in the armpits. Each inhale really expanding open. Through the heart, the rib cage. Each exhale as you empty, let your body release. And maybe you melt your heart more closely to the earth. Final 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly ease up. Right, this is all invitations for your shoulders, but I'm going to walk mine a little bit more forward and just give them a little bit of fluid movement, almost like a cat-cow of the spine. Making my way back toward all fours into some cat-cow. Let your cat-cow be fluid with your breath. Inhale, drops the belly, lifts the gaze, maybe open the mouth, stick the tongue out wide toward the chin. Exhale, melt the head, lift the heart, drop the tail. Coming forward onto your belly, elbows under shoulders into Sphinx. And close your eyes, steady the gaze at the tip of the nose. Let your breath find your belly now. Breathe 3-dimensionally into your belly, front, back, side to side.
yourself to me, all of yourself to me. Bring me all of your sadness, your grief and your pain. Bring me all of your anger and all of your shame. I want all of you, I want every piece. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. I want you to bring all of yourself to me. All of yourself to me. All of yourself to me. Bring your intensity. Bring your shame. Bring all of yourself to me. I have less space. Bring your beauty and bring your love. Bring all of yourself to me. You are already enough. Ooh, 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 ooh. Already enough. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Already enough. Already enough. Already enough. Time I feel this way, this old familiar saying.
On your next exhale, lower the elbows if you lifted them. Reach the arms forward, palms spin up, forehead releases down into full prostration. Letting the center of your brow melt and merge with the surface beneath it. All of the spinning and spiraling of your mind, let it drip out of the center of the brow into the land.
Shall you receive? So take from me these troubles, bring me sweet release, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah.
All of our gripping and grasping and holding on tight, we can release that as our front body connects with the surface of the earth.
There is a river in this heart of hearts with a knowingness of my highest good. I am willing.
On your next round of breath, inhale through the nose, fill your belly, let it widen and broaden. As you exhale, open up the mouth, sigh it out as if you could fog up a mirror. Hands can come under shoulders. Feel free to counter move again. Cat cow, child's pose. A down dog might feel good.
Where the river will never run dry. Where the river will never run dry. This river will never run.
And then several options. If you'd like to remain on your seat, we'll bring our legs forward, add a bend to your knee. If you need, slide any supports underneath the knees. Forward fold. Or you can come to your feet. Bring your feet about a fist width apart. And then we'll forward fold here as well. And so no right or wrong, all about preference. The reason I like coming to my feet is because I tend to have a very busy brain. And so this gives me an opportunity to let my brain be lower than both my heart and my pelvis. If you are on your feet, an invitation to allow your eyes to remain open as you gaze back through your legs, finding a place or a spot or something that can steady your drishti. And so by now, maybe really finding yourself with an equal 4 to 4 count breath, Sama Vritti Pranayama. It doesn't have to be perfect, there's no right or wrong, but the more you begin to play with what balance feels like in your breath, the more we begin to find balance, not only in our nervous system, our endocrine system, but also right and left brain. Three more breaths wherever you are. If you are on your seat, you can bring your hands back toward your hips and let them be kickstands as you begin the slow journey of rolling your spine up toward seated. If you're on your feet, we'll heel toe our feet as wide as the mat. And then begin to bend our knees, sink our hips down toward a yoga squat. I'm even going to take my pillow here and bring it beneath my sit bones for this yoga squat. And then bringing the hands behind the head, interlacing my 10 fingers and allowing my spine to round in. Elbows come inside my knees. Feeling what it feels like to be really low to the earth, really rooted, really anchored. Maybe notice, right, we're starting to even drop our awareness down our spine toward our sacrum, all the way down toward that anatomical center of gravity. So that from your center, that space a few inches below your belly button, we can begin to unfurl, finding our length, finding our width, finding our depth. one of the things that the inherently traumatizing nature of white supremacy culture steals from us is our dignity. And so, really centering yourself in your physical body, in your sacral area, in your full dimensionality. Taking a final round of breath in your malasana or yoga squat. And then let's take a minute or so and counter move, free move in any way. So lots of options depending on what your body needs. Let it be very intuitive and just fluid and free flowing. And then again, I will give you layers of invitation. If you would like to remain on your back, right? Go ahead, come to your back. And we would come toward a happy baby. So hugging our knees toward our chest, letting our elbows reach inside the feet to the pinky edges of the feet so that we can come into this happy baby. Heel stacked over knee, stacked over armpit. All right. If you would like to be from all fours, we would open our knees nice and wide, my feet as well. I have my pillow here, so I'm going to use this. Almost slide it under my hips even, but then we're coming toward this frog pose. So my belly, my heart's down, my knees are wide, my feet are back. You can see that in line with the knees. Or coming to your feet. And as you come toward your feet, right, I'm going to turn my toes the same direction as my knees, add a bend to my knees. And then I'm going to bring my forearms to my inner knees and let them press open. I'm going to let my head just kind of release and gaze down. So this is coming into a goddess pose. And so wherever you find yourself, close your eyes, find that Samavriti pranayama. Really equal and even in breaths and out breaths. And maybe you can start to notice if you can really get a sense of the space in between, the space in between your in breath before it moves to your out breath. And the space between your out breath and your in breath. And if you're building any heat and you need some out breaths out the mouth, open the mouth wide, release the tongue out and toward the chin. Workable edge. Final 3 breaths.
that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me.
Let your final round of breath, empty, 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 no hurry. And then counter move in a way that feels really delicious, really juicy. Again, whatever that looks like for you, guided by your body, its sensations, and the shapes that you have chose for yourself tonight.
Release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me.
Meeting on our backs.
Release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work.
An invitation to bring your feet to the sky.
Release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer serve me. Release all things that no longer work for me. Release all things that no longer serve me. Release all things that no longer work for me. Let them go. Release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I say let them go, release all things that no longer serve me. I say let them go, if they're not working. Release all things that no longer work for me. I decide and let them go if they're not
As you exhale, Release your feet down with your knees bent. Let the sensation wash through your body. Walk your feet out long toward our final resting pose, our Shavasana. And if it feels nourishing for you, nurturing for you, regenerative for you, let yourself be nice and big in your Shavasana tonight. Feet maybe slightly wider than normal, arms out almost maybe shoulder height. And then allow yourself to take several exhales out your mouth, letting your body release through that out breath any remaining tension, any remaining stagnation. And as you finish up with your active letting go, then begin to transition your awareness into your heart space, allowing your body to breathe for itself as you witness, as you experience. Your body's really magnificent capacity to breathe innately with no control or conscious choice on our behalf. As your body breathes, it pulls in this prana or this life force that connects us all. And as your body breathes, it breathes with the trees. as you witness and as you experience, maybe notice if you could breathe with so much ease that you begin to hardly notice the breath at all. Your awareness seated in your heart. And then begin to scan your body for any nuance of sensation. Tingles, flutters, pulsations, waves, heat, cold. This communication is more subtle than the thinking mind. It requires pause and presence. And imagination. And so begin to invite this feeling of sensation to spread throughout every cell in your body. Every molecule, every atom. Until you begin to feel yourself as a field of radiant sensation. Contained within the borders and boundaries and edges of your skin. And also connected to the other humans through a computer screen in this gift that is the internet. Because we touch each other too. All the little moments that have brought us together in this moment, right here, right now. Feel yourself melting and floating simultaneously. with all of our ancestors at our backs, not only of our lineage, our bloodline, but also of the flora and fauna, the four-legged, two-legged, and winged, the minerals in the soil, and the minerals in the stars are the same as the minerals in our bones. This practice brings us back to this place. It helps us to remember. And so, in that spirit of remembering, I would invite you to bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Planting this memory, seething it within. Because just like your mind has memories, your body does too. And part of healing is remembering what it feels like to experience safety, dignity, joy, and pleasure. What does it feel like to feel full of life? Connected to community. This feeling, this moment, sending this down the river. And then feel free to remain in your meditation or the duration. Or if you would like to join me, we will seal this practice with some mantra. And so if you choose to reawaken, let it happen slowly, slowly. Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. before coming toward your seat. And so we will plan to close this out with 5-minute ohms. And so it is essentially 3 sounds: ah, ooh, sort of all blended together. We will do it together and let that close our practice. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll inhale. Palms can come together. Thumbs connecting into the heart. Om, 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 shanti, om, peace, peace, peace.